want to play more games. That's why I got the Retroid Pocket Flip 2. That's a mouthful. Problem is, I don't have that much time. Between family, work, adulting, it's hard to play games, except for the big games, the Final Fantasies, the Zeldas, the God of War. Those I generally have to schedule uninterrupted game time just to enjoy them. So I rarely play retro games and I want to play more games, so I figured this would be a win-win. The problem is I've had this for a while. It's either time to set it up or get rid of it. Let's see. And as with most activities, it's more about finding the time than creating it, right? So I have some pockets of time that I want to take advantage of and play more games whenever I get a chance. A little gaming snack for sure. So as I mentioned in the intro, the Retroid Pocket Flip 2, mouthful, is a pretty cool device. You know, $229. It's not exactly cheap, but it's not expensive. You know, just throwing up the hardware specs right now on screen. The display is really good. It's solid. The hinge is nice. Oh, it's funny how the screen can go about, let's say, 150 degrees back. And then even further to 178, even though it's 178, it doesn't really hold there. So it'll constantly be snapping back to the 150. But it feels nice. The buttons, the controls, the screen is gorgeous. Closing the lid feels very satisfying. You know, obviously I didn't really test it that much, but I wonder how many flips it has in its lifetime. It feels like it probably has a lot. It feels really good. I mean, again, it is plastic, the outside, but it feels like a nice plastic. It doesn't feel like a cheap plastic, if that makes sense. So overall, a solid device. But I have a confession to make. While the physical device seems great, the truth is it's been collecting dust for months. And that's because it's a pain in the ass to set up. I've tried many grind sessions over the past couple months, various success, but mostly failures. Honestly, I struggle with this and I consider myself tech savvy. But unfortunately, because of draconian copyright laws and whatnot, it's a pain in the ass just to set up the emulators, finding the ROMs, putting the ROMs on the device. A very first world problem for sure. The older the console, the older the emulator, tends to be easier to set up, yes, for sure. But the other ones, the more modern and mid-era ones, are a little bit more tricky to set up. Again, the whole premise here is find more time to play games. I don't want to spend time setting things up, babysitting it, and getting things to work, especially if they break after a while. That's why I love console gaming so much. PC gaming is still awesome. I still spend time there. I love it as well. Major shout out to Retro Gaming Core here though, because without their help and guide, I wouldn't even have gone as far as I did. So major shout out to the review for the Flip 2 if you're interested, and emulation starter guide. It's awesome stuff. Around the time that I was setting up the Flip, the world changed. The Switch 2 was released. I love the Switch, so getting the second one was a no-brainer. To be honest though, unless you have a Switch catalog that you're ready to play on this thing, it's probably better off that you wait. Let the Switch 2 catalog grow a bit. Don't get me wrong, I had a blast playing Mario Kart with the family. I'm excited to get things started with Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I don't regret the early adopter purchase here. Small tangent, I do hate how draconian Nintendo can be here in their business side of things, especially on the Switch 2, even before. But I do love their games. But that's a discussion for another time. And the Switch 2 made me realize, embarrassingly, that I already have other mobile devices. Probably not pocket size, but definitely not talking about the phone. It's the Steam Deck. Nothing new here. I'm sure everybody knows enough about the Steam Deck and how awesome the hardware is, especially for big hands like mine. But with my large library of Steam games, too many of those games have 0 hours played. Gotta fix that. All this shows that I'm just really bad at finding time to play games. And while I do consider these systems mobile, they aren't gonna fit in anybody's pocket, especially not mine anytime soon. I do wanna keep them in mind though. So whenever I have these little pockets of time, that I can just jump in and play a game as needed. So the entire point of this experiment was to play more games, and I completely failed. But I don't blame the Flip 2, and I don't blame the emulator developers. The Flip 2 is a piece of incredible hardware, and the emulation community and developers, they use their free time to make awesome software. This is more a me problem and my limited time and my limited desire to set things up. It would be nice if some of these devices just come out of the box ready to play, ready to go. But that, again, draconian copyright laws and junk is just not, it ruins the fun for everybody. Let me know down below if you had better luck setting up this device or a similar device. But its time has come, and it's time to either put it up on eBay or make a donation, something like that. I don't know, I'm not sure yet, but it has to go. All right, later.